Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Finally, we have Anand sitting with us, and I thought I will choose brain today about all the stuff which you guys have been asking about. Well, me and Keshav were talking about why index fund, why index fund, why mutual fund, why mutual fund. A lot of you, of course, have a lot of anxiety with it, with all the news which is coming about Access Mutual Fund and everything that's been going on. Anand has spoken in great length about it in Money Picture. I hope you guys caught that video. If not, make sure you go watch it. It's really interesting and it gives you an in-depth analysis of the problem with actual Access Mutual Fund. So today I thought we will talk broadly about mutual funds. Is it safe? And especially is index fund safe? And why? What are the pros and cons of index funding? Anand, so what do you say, Anand? Is it safe if I had opened an account in Access and I've been putting index fund in that?
If you had been putting on a passive index fund, you wouldn't have had a problem. But if you had been putting in an active mutual fund, you would definitely have a problem. The one-third of their or one-half of their funds is equity, of which one-third is among the worst performers. And this is worst performers because there is withdrawal redemptions. People are withdrawing more money from it than putting money into it. So the amount of money coming in is far lesser than the money going out.
It's like a run on the bank.
It's a run on the bank. So they are forced to sell assets to pay it back. And therefore they are forced to sell it when they should not be selling. But this is of their own making and they deserve every bit of it. The total asset under management has also come down. So basically what is happening is as this report gets more publicity, more people will withdraw money correctly. So it's a negative feedback loop for the AMC. And therefore, this is a problem. But this problem could occur with any mutual
fund,
active mutual fund. There are two types of mutual funds, active funds and passive funds. Passive funds is where the role of a fund manager is limited. He can only put money where you ask him to put. If I say investor, I buy a Nifty 50 passive fund, I am buying only the Nifty index. In the same weightage it is there in the index.
Correct.
And therefore you are buying the index. And over the long term, it's a vote on confidence on the Indian economy. As long as the Indian economy does well, as long as the Indian economy does well, you have no problem. So over the long term, you will compound money and do very well. And this is what Buffett advises people who have no idea of what to buy. So if you buy an active mutual fund, you are handing over your entire portfolio to a fund manager of whom you know little bit.
So you're handing your heart over to someone and saying, play with it.
Play with it. And so they will play
Russian roulette.
They'll play Russian roulette with it. And that's what Viren Joshi did. Basically what he did is, this is a stock called Gland Pharma, which is owned by the Chinese. So he kept on buying Gland Pharma. And then what did he do? If he knew that he was buying Gland Pharma today, the day before he would have gone and bought Gland Pharma in his own account. And so when the market went up today, he will dump his shares.
Pump and dump.
Pump and dump. And
well, he was doing the pumping and dumping simultaneously.
Yeah, so he was doing it. He was front running the market. He knew what he wanted to buy. So he would buy. And now it is very clear that he was taking his cell phone into the dealing room. A cell phone which was not registered with SEBI and the company. So it was all a shady deal. And there is something called a concentration risk, which is basically of all the number of shares owned in a particular company by a mutual fund, how much percentage a fund owns. If you have more than 30%, it is considered extremely risky. Avenue supermarkets, that's D-Mart, Axis owns more than 70% of all mutual funds. In case of Pidilite Info Edge, it owns well more than 30%. Then there is Mahindra and Mahindra, in which it owns 11%. So suppose you can liquidate 2 or 3% or 5% of that stock on a day. If somebody asks for the money to liquidate the entire position and pay back the client,
when you approach the market, your price will start collapsing.
The price will start collapsing. So they have a concentration risk. They have had inept management and they have been making money on this side.
Okay, you spoke about all this in great detail in Money Picture. My question is, let's say I've taken your advice and I've only been doing index fund. Is my money safe?
As long as you are in the Nifty, it is safe.
As long as you're
In the next Nifty, which I was also recommending till recently, in the next Nifty, what has happened, it is now decided, since no private player is buying Adani stocks, what the government has said is,
we will do
what you will do is they'll include it in the next Nifty.
to support Adani.
They are not saying it in so many words, but that's what it is. Then indices across the world are busy dumping Adani stocks. The NSE has decided to include it in the next Nifty, which means if you own the next Nifty index fund, you will be forced to buy it.
So you're betting on Adani then?
You will bet on Adani, which is, see, it's happening even in the Nifty, but that's very small percentage. It's only 2% of your money. In the case of next Nifty, it could be significant, and that is why I'm saying you avoid it.
Okay, and another question which I have is, all the mutual funds are sold according to unit cost. So is Nifty index fund unit cost pretty much the same across the board, or does it vary? Now there's Axis funds in unit cost would have collapsed.
No. As long as it's the Nifty, unit cost is the total amount of money divided by number of units in that place.
Okay.
So Nifty should more or less reflect what has happened in the index. The number would change depending on when the index fund was launched. The later it was launched, lower the number. But you would have seen the percentage increase or fall mirrors that of the index.
Okay. So this is
unless there is a very big tracking error. If there is a tracking error of more than 0.3, it is better to dump the fund.
Okay. So this gives clarity on how unit cost is determined in mutual funds.
That is, it is the total assets of the company, of the fund, including cash, divided by number of units.
Okay. So this is why they will see variance of unit cost, though it is a Nifty index.
Yes. And it also depends on the fees. The index fees also drops from 0.25 to 0.1. So
that variation also creates a
problem.
Creates a price variance.
Yeah.
Okay. So now everyone now saying index fund. Is there any, broadly speaking, any specific index fund you think is managed well?
There is all kinds of index funds are available. I stick to the UTI Nifty because the oldest AMC and the government has a stake in it. So there will be no.
Your personal recommendation, what you personally
I have bought is Nifty
UTI Nifty. Okay. So I hope this all clarifies the questions you guys have been asking about mutual funds and why we recommend index fund in mutual fund and why right now it's the safest thing to be parked in.
Yes, please stay in the passive fund. Please stay in Nifty. Don't get into any adventure. And you have an Axis fund, please sell it.
Correct.
Thank you for watching Be Rich. If you like the content, hit the like video of my channel, of this video, and turn on this bell notification. And please do not forget to subscribe. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will not be notified every time we put out a video. There is a danger you might miss a video. Thank you for watching Be Rich. After a successful event in Qatar, my team wanted to find out where to do an event. So they did a recce, they did a survey, and they found out that they would go back to my second home in Saudi Arabia, Dammam. So after nearly 30 years, I'm going back to Dammam. The last time I was in Dammam was in 1990, and I'm going back there to do an event on the 10th of March. We have not yet decided where it will be in Dammam, but definitely I am visiting Dammam on the 10th of March, Friday. So those who are in and around Dammam or maybe in Jeddah should make a trip to see me, and I'm going to talk about investments on where you should put out your money. Those in Bahrain can drive across the causeway and join us. See you in Dammam on the 10th of March. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.